Part 113. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1124. I heard that the Shui Han in your hand has been taken away by Yingfeng from the frontier. With your current strength, it is impossible to fight against my men. Why not admit defeat now? I can still spare your life. Wei Zhuang pointed at Gao Jianli, not wanting to fight with a swordsman who even lost his sword. In this case, even if he wins, he will be said to be weak. He has his own pride, and he will not allow it. He attacked an unarmed person, but if Gao Jianli resisted in anger, it would be a different matter. Even if I don't have Shui Han now, you can't bully the Mo family's government city. I can still challenge you in a duel. Gao Jianli is not a person who falls behind at a critical moment. Even if his strength is greatly reduced now, he is still willing to shed his blood for the Mo family's government city. Ridiculous. Wei Zhuang snorted coldly. Didn't you come here to find me? Why bother them? Wei Zhuang appeared in front of everyone with a calm expression. This time he did not wait for a long time behind, but stood in front of Wei Zhuang from the very beginning. But he did not have a sword in his hand. Senior brother, long time no see. Wei Zhuang showed a long-lost smile, but this smile looked cautious. It didn't look like two people who had reunited after a long separation. However, the two enemies in the previous life had a deep hatred. It has indeed been a long time since we last met, but it seems that our meeting again was not intentional on my part. You went through so much effort to come to the Magia city, wasn't it just to take my life? Why bother them? There was an expression of regret on Gai Nai's face. He still views Wei Zhuang as his younger brother. No matter what the result of the competition was, he still has feelings for Wei Zhuang. But he still has feelings for Wei Zhuang now. He was able to be so calm because he didn't know about the master's matter, and there was another inside story. Wei Zhuang also planned to use the master's matter to irritate Gai Nai. Otherwise, Gai Nai would definitely care about the friendship between his fellow disciples and refuse to use all his strength against Wei Zhuang. Both Lu Feng, who was watching the show, and Wei Zhuang, who was in the middle of the game, knew this very well. I haven't a Euro trademark seen my senior brother for so long, but I still value relationships as much as before. But if I told you something that asked you to choose one side from a dilemma, who would you choose? Wei Zhuang looked like he was sure of victory. Although he had not captured the key role of Duan Mirong now, he was already prepared to use the death of his master as a bargaining chip. What do you mean? Gai Nai frowned. He looked around and found that everyone in the Mo family's organ city was here, and no one was caught. In other words, no one he knew well fell into Wei Zhuang's hands. He immediately breathed a sigh of relief. But he also knew that his junior brother would not do anything he was unsure of, and he could not let go of the worries in his heart. Senior brother, do you still remember when the master died? Senior brother, do you still remember that Master Babafijian only taught it to you? Two very simple questions, but they hurt Gai Nai's heart. Is it true that the 100 steps flying sword was only given to Gai Nai alone? Wei Zhuang can learn this skill, not because of his master. It was given to him, but he learned it himself. I can also fly the sword with 100 steps now. Senior brother, do you want to see how far I have learned it? Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1125. The moment Wei Zhuang said these words, Gai Nai almost went crazy. He immediately remembered what happened to his master in a series of memories. If he remembered correctly, the master was assassinated back then. He had always thought that someone had assassinated the master, but it was just an ordinary enemy who came to visit. But until now, Wei Zhuang personally admitted that he had learned the 100-step flying sword, which was telling Gai Nai that although the master had never taught Gai Nai to use the 100-step flying sword, He could get the information about the 100-step flying sword in the master's room after he killed the master. Sword Manual of Bulletin Fei Sword. Naturally, he could practice the 100-step flying sword, which meant that he admitted that he had killed his master with his own hands. Gainai couldn't bear this, because he looked at his master as he looked at his father. No one would allow his father's murderer to appear in front of him unharmed. So Gainai took action angrily at this moment, and the wooden sword in his hand became his weapon. Wei Zhuang was still a man, so he did not take out his shark teeth and picked up a piece of bamboo to confront Gainai. Sword. Between the two of them, you come and go, and the competition between them is very fierce, just like the competition between them when they were teenagers. Of course, the final outcome is that Gani wins, but this is the ending of the teenager, not the ending now. The two of them are from the same swordsmanship and have similar moves. The only difference is that after leaving Gigutsi, their respective experiences in society determine their directions. But in the end, Gainai still won this time. It's just that Gainai is not relaxed, because he himself was seriously injured. Now this game is equivalent to a lose-lose situation. As for why there is no ending in the memory where only Wei Zhuang is safe and sound, it is because Lu Feng's appearance changed everything. Neither of them had magic weapons like Yuan Hong and shark teeth in their hands, and they were just fighting with the most ordinary wooden products, so the corresponding ending would not be so miserable. It depends on whose hand the wooden product can reach the other person's neck faster. But the two of them have already established their kung fu. Even though they have developed for so many years, Gainai's swordsmanship is still superior, and the most important thing is his superior state of mind. Wei Zhuang has always been stubborn about what happened back then, but Gainai has already moved on from what happened back then, and continues to make himself stronger. Now, during his stay in the Magia city, Gainai has encountered even more difficulties. When Duan Murong arrived, it became more and more different. It was like a cold-blooded swordsman without a heart, who suddenly had a reborn heart one day. Before that, after being stimulated by Jing Tianming's father, Jing Ke, Gainai had already become a very different person. For Gainai, his life is no longer about pursuing swordsmanship, but to protect the people around him and make them safe and happy. This is his ultimate goal. To wave the sword in his hand because of protection, this Ji was no longer a cold-blooded assassin long ago. Compared to this, Wei Zhuang, who has been in the killer organization for a long time, has not yet been able to understand. Although Zhang Liang, Zhang Zifang, and Han Fiza met when he was young, he still failed to understand the deeper meaning. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1126. We haven a Euro trademark T seen each other for so many years. Senior brother, a Euro trademark S swordsmanship has become more and more powerful. I originally thought that I could beat you with my training over the years, but I didn't a Euro trademark T expect that I would still take the same path as before. Come on, senior brother, you didn't a Euro trademark T do it back then. Kill me and break the rules of the master. I think you must regret it now. What Wei Zhuang is talking about is Gigutsi's rule. Every time Gigutsi comes up, he only accepts 2 apprentices. In the end, only one of these 2 apprentices can survive, and the one who dies must be killed by another apprentice. Kill. The way to decide which disciple is the disciple of Gigutsi in the end is to let the 2 disciples learn and grow up in the same environment, and then let the 2 of them have a life or death duel. This method is very cruel and is also a test of feelings, and the apprentices of Gigutsi did not change much in each term, until Wei Zhuang and Gainai. Gainai was unwilling to kill Wei Zhuang, so he left after the victory and did not insist on killing Wei Zhuang. After their master knew about this matter, there was no punishment for Gainai's love. And whether he was favored and favored again and again, Wei Zhuang felt that he had received nothing, but Gai Nai had received everything. There was an imbalance in his heart, which led to him becoming more and more stubborn later on. I don't a Euro trademark T think I was wrong about what happened back then, and I don't a Euro trademark T think I was wrong now. Gai Nai, who had already won, did not take action, but took back the wooden sword in his hand, because he knew that he could not really kill Wei Zhuang. Looking at Gai Nai, he took back the wooden sword in his hand as usual, and Lu Feng knew something was wrong before he dealt the final blow to Wei Zhuang. Zi Long. Lu Feng said softly. Zhao Yun responded and arrived in front of Wei Zhuang in an instant. At this time, the wood in Wei Zhuang's hand had already turned into its own sword, shark teeth. Shark teeth and Gai Nai's the distance between them was only a few millimeters, as if they were going to stab Gai Nai in the next second, causing Gai Nai to fall to the ground seriously injured. Gai Nai could put down the sword in his hand, but Wei Zhuang couldn't. Why is this? One of the main reasons why Wei Zhuang became the final winner in the original world line. Untimely kindness will only become a sharp knife that kills his own people. Perhaps Ge Nai himself does not know that one day his kindness to others will become the sharp knife used by others to hurt the one they love. So strong, who are you? It seems like I've never seen you. Wei Zhuang felt very strange to Zhao Yun. In his impression, he had never fought against the person in front of him, and he had never seen Zhao Yun's existence in the information from various countries. My young master does not want you to cause trouble in the city, so please leave. Zhao Yun was very polite. He was just here to stop Wei Zhuang under orders. There was no need to show a bad attitude on purpose. Wei Zhuang looked at Lu Feng behind him in confusion. He had never seen this man's face before. Young Master Feng? Shouldn't it be at the border? Why here? Wei Zhuang finally guessed Lu Feng's identity. It can be seen from this that Wei Zhuang is really smart. He extracted the most important information from just a few words and was able to analyze who the person in front of him was. What identity, and I guessed almost exactly. 3 Kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1127. Wei Zhuang's doubts are normal, because for many people, it is impossible for Lu Feng to leave the border. You must know that the border is very chaotic now. There are Rongdi outside and Mengtian inside. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like it. Looking like I can go out. Why am I here? I don't think I need to explain it to you. Lu Feng looked at him and didn't attach much importance to Wei Zhuang. Although Wei Zhuang is very strong, it is impossible to conquer this person. He has always respected himself and used an attitude towards others. The only one who is close to him is Qi Lian. He will not surrender to anyone, he will only act for his own purpose. Back then, even Han Fiza just used his attitude towards him. Gong Zifeng is not an ordinary person, but a noble of the Qin state. Of course, you don't a Euro trademark T need to explain anything to me, but I don't a Euro trademark T understand that the Maoist government city is an enemy of the Qin state. Why are you doing this? You must know that the great Qin cavalry behind me is from the Qin state. Wei Zhuang always felt very strange, because the Lu Feng in front of him was from the Qin state, but he did not seek benefits for the Qin state. Instead, he was now staying safely in the Magia government city, but he didn't look like a hostage. The people in the Maoist government city would actually have a friendly attitude toward the nobles of Qin, and so far, Lu Feng has not been threatened in any way. This is really unbelievable. These things have nothing to do with you. I don't want the Mo family's organ city to be destroyed now, so you take your people and leave here immediately, and tell the people of the Yin and Yang family that they are not allowed to come in again. Lu Feng shook his head. He would not answer any of Wei Zhuang's questions. What's more, even if he was pretending, he was not qualified to ask questions to him as the emperor. It would be better to say that out of selfishness, he did not want the Mahist government city to suffer any damage, hurt, so he wanted to let all these people leave. This is the first time I know that you Mahists can be so friendly to the nobles of Qin. Have you forgotten what happened back then? What Wei Zhuang is saying now is that he is deliberately provoking the hatred of the people in the Mahist government city against Yingzheng. You must know that the person who wiped out the 6 kingdoms in the first place, Yingzheng, is the younger brother of this person now. We will never forget the hatred that destroyed the country back then, but that person should be King Qin Yingzheng, not the young master in front of me. Is it possible that there is hatred between you and me? Do I want to take revenge on your son? Master Ban answered this question on his behalf. He saved everyone from being in an embarrassing situation and very proactively proposed the concept of retribution. However, this idea is also the same as some of the Mahist ideas. After all, for them, do not want to actively provoke war, they just want to survive longer in troubled times. And they also hope that there will be fewer wars in this world, because only when there are fewer wars will more people be allowed to live. People will not be displaced. I didn't know you were such open-minded people, so why do you hide in a place like this? You hide as soon as you can. After so many years, you should have stood up long ago to represent the world and fight against those kings. Wei Zhuang's words are clearly meant to mock the Mo family. They know nothing but being a coward and can only use their words. 3 kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1128. Regarding Wei Zhuang's ridicule, the people of the Mo family ignored them at all. Now all they were thinking about was how to protect the Mo family's organ city. Even if this place was discovered, they could still find a way to solve the situation in front of them. The affairs of our Mo family don't need you to pretend to be coquettish here. I watched you with my own eyes and led others to break into my Mo family's organ city. It's better that this young master was invited by us after asking us. Those of you who go to the government city cannot be compared with each other. Master Ban was very angry because Wei Zhuang in front of them came to kill them. Unlike Lu Feng came here as a guest and told them in advance. Everyone knew about this person's existence, and Wei Zhuang rashly broke into their agency city without notifying them, and came with murderous intent. In comparison, Lu Feng, who appeared with good intentions, was more popular. As for Wei Zhuang, now Master Ban and the others, I wish I could chop off Wei Zhuang's Euro trademark's head with my own hands. Even though you are not listening to my good advice now, then even if you are killed by my people, you deserve it. I believe you can be each other's companions on the road to hell. Wei Zhuang did come with murderous intent. What he wants is for everyone here to die. Of course, he doesn't have to die, but what he wants to do will be decided after their conversation. After all, this time the real target is actually Gai Nai. He is not a lackey of the Qin state, so he will not pay attention to the goal of the entire Mahist family that the Qin state wants to destroy. As long as he can achieve his goal and temporarily come to the government city, as Qin's vanguard, he wouldn't mind. No one here will die, and you will not achieve your goal. Although Wei Zhuang has a lot of regrets and wants to make up for it, Lu Feng does not intend to give him this opportunity because his inner selfishness is biased towards the Mo family. His words like this can be regarded as a verdict of the outcome, which makes Wei Zhuang feeling very uncomfortable, because he has seen Zhao Yun's strength with his own eyes, and his own people are definitely no match. In other words, Zhao Yun here has become the only resistance. Young master, why do you keep stopping me? Do you have good intentions towards the Mo family? Do you want to overthrow the regime of King Qin Yingzheng? Wei Zhuang's first guess is about the throne of Qin. If Lu Feng has been doing the opposite to King Qin Yingzheng, then he must not be of the same faction as King Yingzheng of Qin. So what reason does he have to do this? What about all this? Obviously, he wanted to get the throne of King Qin. Otherwise, there is no reason to explain why he would be with the enemy of King Qin Yingzheng and have a good conversation. It must be because they have a common interest goal. That is to overthrow King Qin Yingzheng. Don't think too much. I'm not interested in the throne of Qin. I just want to bring peace to the whole world. Instead of quarreling here, why don't you think about why no one has gone to Rongdi in the border areas until now? Solution: do you know that ordinary people have been invaded by foreign races? How much pain are they in? Lu Feng looked at Wei Zhuan coldly. Apart from quarreling with his own people, these people have no other role at all. They have not even solved the foreign troubles. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1129. Although the inland Central Plains is a king-level super-god to other races, if the surrounding small countries have been intruding on ordinary people, the responsibility that a noble should bear is to solve these problems. In fact, the Central Plains have always been fighting with each other, and no one has managed border issues. Only the Qin state has managed it very responsibly, but this prerequisite is because this is the territory that belongs to the Qin state. Therefore, when the world was unified, people from other countries could not understand the move of King Qin Yingzheng to build the Great Wall, because they had never visited the frontier for so many years. What the young master said is not what we need to consider. There are so many capable people and strangers in the world. It does not mean that each of us needs to rush out to the battlefield in order to exchange for a peaceful and prosperous age. The battles between the 6 countries are still not settled, no. Wei Zhuang shook his head. He has a different view on this matter. He has so many people in his hands, and his life is causally related to so many people. But he has already seen clearly that this world is not casual. The appearance of one person can change it. As for so many years, he has experienced countless things, and still does not believe that there is a moment of real stability in this world. Their existence as the dark side of the 6 nations has never disappeared. On the surface, those common people, it is very peaceful, but for people like them, there has never been a peaceful day. So your coming to the Maoist government city is purely a personal grudge, and me stopping you now because I don't want you to attack the Maoist government city is just a personal grudge. Do you still have any objections to my obstruction? Just after Wei Zhuang said this, Lu Feng responded without hesitation. Since he was just saying that he was a noble of the Qin state, he should not be so happy in the enemy's home, but he came here not because of which country he is from. He used the other party's words to reply to the other party. This pretense did not seem to occur to him and he was stunned. In this way, he really did not have any qualifications to stop the other party. Get out of here right now and tell the people behind you that if anyone comes to the Magia city again, I will let him have tea with the Lord of Hell. Lu Feng was not allowed to go to Guan City and be destroyed, so these people were strictly prohibited from entering Guan City again. Now no one can beat Zhao Yun, so they can only admit defeat. Wei Zhuang was a little angry, but he had nothing to do. After being able to look around at the people of the Mo family and then leaving the city, he thought to himself that since he could not take the initiative to attack, wouldn't this rule be invalidated if the people of the Mo family left the city on their own? As long as if they can think of ways to seduce people in the Mo family's prison city and come out on their own initiative, they will not violate Lu Feng's orders, and they can also kill these people. However, Lu Feng saw his intention from the beginning. I believe that Master Ban and the others are not without IQ. They must be very clear that they cannot leave the Maoist government city now, otherwise they will lose the last means of saving their lives. The fight between the two sides is also due to the existence of Lu Feng and Zhao Yun and marked with a pause symbol. 3 Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1130. After Wei Zhuang's people left the government city, everyone else in the Mo family's government city understood that this time it was because of Lu Feng's presence that they were safe and sound, so they all bowed to Lu Feng to express their gratitude. You have also seen the result now. People from Wei Zhuang will always be guarding outside. No matter who goes out, he will definitely kill you. You will not have a chance to survive, so I advise you to stay in the government city. Stay calm and talk about it when you find an opportunity. Lu Feng warned these people not to go out casually. What's more, the Mo family's government city has already achieved self-sufficiency and does not need to go out. Before getting the correct solution, these people should be honest in order to save their lives. Stay in the agency city. This time everyone in the city is safe and sound, all thanks to the young master. We, the Mahists, are deeply grateful for this. If you have any needs in the future, you can contact the disciples of the Mahists, and we will definitely do it for you. Master Ban stood up and told Lu Feng that from now on, the Mo family can be at his disposal. No matter what they want to do, they will definitely try their best to complete it. This can be regarded as their repayment. I know that you people from the Mo family always keep your word, and I will come to you if necessary in the future. But now I have other things to deal with, and I am leaving here. Miss Duanmu is safe, and that is enough. Lu Feng turned back and glanced at Duan Murong. He had always felt uncomfortable because Duan Murong passed through the Mo family's government city and fell asleep. Now that he has seen her safe and sound with his own eyes, his childhood regrets have been satisfied. It's time for him to leave. It's just that his statement left many people in the Mo family confused. Even Gai Nai, a cold-hearted person with a warm heart, stood in front of Duan Murong at this moment, becoming more hostile to Lu Feng for no reason. Don't be so nervous. My thoughts towards Miss Duanmu are not that dirty. I am just trying to make up for my debt to someone. Lu Feng waved his hand and told Gai Nai not to be so nervous. He didn't come here to snatch women from him. He just wanted to give an explanation to his childhood self. But it was precisely because he changed his way of saying it. The people of the Mo family breathed a sigh of relief. Duan Murong's status in the Mo family was extraordinary. If Lu Feng forced Duan Murong away, no one here would be able to stand up and resist, because they couldn't defeat Zhao Yun at all. They can be destroyed easily. The people of the Mo family were very surprised by Lu Feng's decision. After all, Lu Feng actually didn't do anything after he came here. Instead, he was very kind to them. Before they could repay the favor, Lu Feng was about to leave. You don't have to think about persuading me to stay. I have done the last little thing for you. This is an explanation to a person. Now it is time for me to leave and do other things. Lu Feng looked around and remembered this familiar scene and familiar people in his mind. He could finally let go of his childhood self. After saying goodbye to these people, under the protection of Zhao Yun, he left safely the Mo family's government city. Wei Zhuang was very excited after watching him leave, because he finally found another opportunity to enter the government city. However, Zhao Yun turned back midway and severely injured him, which made it impossible for him to turn back. 3 Kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1131. Lu Feng's main purpose now is not to have in-depth communication with these childhood characters, but to make the world more stable. He does not want Qin Tu to die and let Lu Bang take advantage. And when he returned to the frontier, Mr. Fu Nian had already been waiting for him for a long time. I didn't expect that I would see my husband just after I came back. I just don't know why he came to me. Is it to get the sword back? Lu Feng was surprised to see Fu Nian when he just came back. He didn't understand why Confucian people came here. I'm afraid the young master has forgotten that there is an important figure in our Confucianism here with you. He has been trapped in the border area by you and has not returned yet. Fu Nian's face was a little sad, because Zhang Liang had been at the border for several months, but not a single bit of news had been sent back. In desperation, he had no choice but to come over and ask for the person in person. When he said this, Lu Fengke thinking about it, he indeed detained Zhang Liang in his own place a few months ago and never took care of him again since then. He never even asked Zhang Liang to ask questions alone. He completely ignored him. People have forgotten it. Unexpectedly, they have attracted the boss of their family now, just to get him back. Don't worry, I think Mr. Zhang is living a pretty good life when he stays here with me. I haven't treated him badly. He has food, drink, and a house to live in. I believe he will live a good life. You don't have to worry. Lu Feng rejected Fu Nian's request and did not intend to return Zhang Liang to them. He kept Zhang Liang with him, so Lu Bang would have no chance to see Zhang Liang in the future. It would be better to lose such a right-hand man, and Lu Bang would be very happy. It's difficult. As for the buddies around him who grew up together, Lu Feng doesn't care. Anyway, he has many ways to torment those people. As for what Fu Nian is thinking about now, he probably wants to take Zhang Liang back to Confucianism. If the Confucianists have any arrangements at that time, they can discuss it with Zhang Liang. With Zhang Liang a Euro trademark SIQ, being a counselor is more than enough. Young master, your behavior is really ridiculous. You are putting our Confucian people under house arrest. Why do you have our Confucian Mr. Zhang under house arrest? Does this mean to start a war against our Confucians? Fu Nian was so angry that he couldn't understand. He came here to ask for someone, but he couldn't succeed. He felt very incomprehensible. Before that, even if the sword he had with him was taken away, why would someone be robbed now? Gone. What should I do? In other words, it has nothing to do with you about the decision. As long as it is what I want to do, I will do it. I don't a Euro trademark T need to communicate with anyone, and I don't a Euro trademark T need to explain to you. Lu Feng waved his hands and ignored Fu Nian's questioning, and now he had no time to bother with Fu Nian about such boring things. During the time he left the border, Lu Yuz was not able to achieve a result with Meng Tian. On the contrary, the two people became more and more stalemate. Meng Tian even gained the upper hand by charging several times before the battle, so this hit Lu Yuz hard. If it weren't for the last trump card of Lu Buletin, he might have given up long ago. Now Lu Yuz is when he was hit hard. Lu Feng, as a father, thought he should step forward to comfort his son. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1132. Rongdi has been waiting outside, with bad intentions. Under the premise that this foreign trouble has not been resolved, Lu Feng does not want Confucian people to enter the border, which will affect his rule over the border. Confucian concepts are only suitable for use in peaceful times. Nowadays, in troubled times of war, using Confucian concepts will only make the people lack the courage and ability to fight. Therefore, Lu Fengga Euro trademark S family members were not welcome here from the beginning. Zhang Liang was able to come uninvited, but Lu Feng had the opportunity to trap him, and he was also able to keep him trapped in the border area, preventing him from letting go. He went out and was noticed by others. He decisively rejected Fu Nian and asked people to throw Fu Nian out from now on. No matter what he thought, he was not welcome in the border area. Then Lu Feng came to Lu Yu's side. He was reading military books alone in the study. He seemed to be very distressed about the battle with Meng Tian. Meng Tian has long been famous, and his strength is obvious to all, because it is normal not to be able to beat him. You have just turned 14 years old. There is no need to feel frustrated because you did not win this time. Lu Feng touched his head, and it was rare for him to comfort this stupid son with tenderness. How old is he? but he still wants to compete with Meng Tian. If he really has that ability, Lu Feng will not treat Lu Bu let and stay with him just in case. Father, forgive me, I really can't a Euro trademark T figure out where I lost? Arena Euro trademark T my people good enough? Doesn't it mean that we can't even go to the battlefield? Lu Yuz didn't understand what was going on. Could it be that because the people under him were deserters from various countries put together, they couldn't be compared with the great Qin cavalry? Or was it because his tactics were not good? Apart from not being ambushed, several he has lost every time in the formation, and the number of people lost has been more than 3,000. This is of course a big blow to him. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Some things are not just your fault, and the soldiers under your command are not their problem. Sometimes you will experience failure in life, and you can't always have smooth sailing. Lu Feng comforted his son in his own way, hoping that his son would not be frustrated in such trivial matters in the future. But I heard from my mother and concubine that my father's life was so smooth. There was no difficulty in front of you, and everything was defeated easily by you. In the child's mind, Lu Feng is an eternal hero, so he admires Lu Feng very much and is proud that Lu Feng has never faced any difficulties in his life. He aims to be such a heroic father. But now it is replaced by he went to the battlefield himself. Not only did he not make any achievements, but he almost lost the border city. So he felt very uncomfortable and felt that he was far behind his father. Isn't that too stupid to compare with me? How could you even think of competing with me? You should compare yourself with other young people. Lu Feng laughed. He didn't expect that one day he would be compared with his son. After all, for him, if he has the golden finger system, he will be invincible in the sky, and his son has no system. He often fails, and that's normal. Although the two of them are indeed father and son, they are completely incomparable. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 1133. Lu Yuz didn't understand what his father's words meant, so he could only shake his head and start thinking. Lu Feng helplessly patted him, so that he didn't have to worry about this kind of thing. After all, there was no way for the two of them to be compared together. So hopefully he can find his own way. But now Meng Tian's problem must be solved. Since you can't find a way, then just follow me and watch how I deal with him. Do you understand? Lu Feng asked his son to follow him obediently. Since he couldn't solve the problem, let him take action himself. He gathered all the people as quickly as possible, and then asked them to conduct archer training, so that everyone did not need to hit the target with perfect accuracy. But the hit rate for hitting the bullseye must be as high as 70% or more. With these large quantities of engineers and the production of some bows and arrows to ensure sufficient gunpowder stores, they can cause damage to those Qin cavalry. There is no gunpowder yet this thing, so there is no way to penetrate their iron armor with ordinary bows and arrows, must be specially manufactured. Strengthen the short circuit you already have in your hand, allowing it to penetrate the iron armor at a certain distance. After the penetration is successful, it is distributed to every soldier, allowing them to train with the crossbow in their hands. When the target hit rate reaches about 80%, they can be pushed out to fight. And all this training is very fast. During this period, Meng Tian he still wanted to attack, but unfortunately it was not in Lu Feng's eyes at all. Lu Feng's understanding of him made it easy for Lu Feng to know how he was going to do it. Meng Tian had never thought that one day he would actually meet someone who knew him so well. Opponent, so for the time being, he could only retreat his troops. Think carefully, what should be the next step? How can he break through himself? No matter how surprised Lu Feng was, he quickly gathered the archers. Then some people were arranged to bear a lot of damage in front, just in case, and a lot of traps were made. The establishment of heavy armor troops took longer, and it was too late for the confrontation with Meng Tian. All the engineering soldiers were after the assembly. Meng Tian and Dechin Taiji were deliberately attracted to a plain area, and this plain area was also a very easy place for Meng Tian to use. The cavalry could charge unscrupulously. But he never expected that he had just appeared in this plain area. When he arrived, there was a dense rain of arrows above his head. Looking up, it seemed that even the sun was blocked by the rain of arrows. But he was not worried because the Dechin cavalry beside him was wearing thick black armor. I believe that most people it was impossible to break through at close range. But in the next second, these things broke his conventional understanding, because the Deccan cavalry that he thought was invincible in defense was broken through in an instant, and the crossbow penetrated their bodies, bringing sputtering blood. Withdraw. The entire army retreats. Meng Tian couldn't believe what was happening in front of him. The Deccan cavalry that he thought were invincible in defense instantly turned into pieces of white paper, which could be broken with a poke. He could no longer lose these men, so he shouted, "Let everyone retreat. If these people all die here, he will not be able to go back and explain to the king of Qin Yingzheng." After today's battle, Meng Tian's great Qin cavalry has been completely destroyed, but he himself will not be defeated by Lu killed by Feng.